doing. And I tell people the difference is that my whole mission and assignment in the world is empowerment. A lot of people can give you information, but they cannot tell you what to do with the information. And so a lot of people, I've heard people tell me they don't really need my services because they have the information. And then I look at their life 5 or 10 years later, and they're still in the same place because they have the information, but they don't know how to integrate and incorporate that information into their lives to really be successful. And so the difference in what I do and what other people do is that I don't just give people information. I walk them through how to make this an integral part of your life. And I do that because not just because I've done some research and read some books and have some education, but I'm walking you through real-world application of things that I have put in place and implemented in my own life. And that's why I talk about it from an angle. I mean, I can go look up some studies from Oxford and Harvard and Yale and all the most prestigious universities on the planet, and I do a lot of research. But beyond my research, the thing that makes me so unique in what I do is that I'm not just giving you data and statistics and analytics, but I'm really giving you groundwork and pillars and foundational pieces that you can begin to apply to your life and you can get the results that you want to see. And so many people today talk about empowerment, and like I said, they lack the equipment to empower their own lives and get alone to empower the lives of others. So, I hear all these people talking about all of this stuff. You'd be amazed at the volume of direct messages and private messages I get on social media, not to include the amount of emails I get, which can go into the thousands from my business accounts, because everybody is an expert and has a solution they want to sell me. And the thing that is so fascinating to me about this is that everybody can package and market and tell you about all of these solutions that they have to offer. And I look at 90% of the people offering the solutions, and the solutions that they're offering are not working for them. And so my thing is, how are you going to sell me on a product that's not working for you? You're not a very good representative of what you're putting out. And so it's not just about knowing about empowerment, but it's about the ability to have the equipment to do it, first of all, in your own life. And then after you've done it in your own life, you now have some experience and a track record where you can begin to give that information to other people. And so empowerment is more than a buzzword and a catchphrase. I know we live in an era of buzzwords and catchphrases. Empowerment is one of them. Authenticity is another one. I talk to so many people that there's always authenticity, and they wouldn't know authenticity if it hit them upside the head. It's just good branding and marketing, and it looks good for them, but they don't really understand it, nor have they incorporated as a principle into their own lives. And so empowerment is a belief system and a paradigm that shapes the lives of those that are overcomers. Let me say that again. Empowerment is a belief system and a paradigm that shapes the lives of those that are overcomers. In other words, when we talk about living an empowered life, it's not just, I read this and I heard about this, but it's literally developing a paradigm and a belief system that transforms the way that you live your life. The thing that has so fascinated me and continues to happen even all these years later about my work is that people in all parts of the world follow my work. This podcast goes into places you would never imagine, countries and nations all over the world. And I talk to some people sometimes that are in some very interesting and unique situations. Some of them are in, my goodness, extreme poverty and some of the most horrid conditions you could ever imagine. But what is so powerful about this message, they can listen to this podcast, even one episode, maybe 2, 3 episodes, and I begin to hear the stories about how these people's lives are transformed, and they become entrepreneurs, and they become history shapers and movers and game changers in their nation, in their industry and field. Why? Because the message of empowerment is not limited to the United States or to a certain segment or a population group. This is a global message. The principles, the concepts, the ideas resonate well beyond the United States of America because it's a global message. And so this is a belief system and a paradigm. And because people will take this, get it, apply it to their lives, it's going to produce results. But it doesn't matter where they are in the world. It doesn't matter what they're going through or what they're experiencing. The message works. And I continue to hear those stories over and over again. And that's the difference between just getting some inspiration and some positive thoughts versus empowerment, which I said is this belief system. It is underlying principles that anchor who you are as a person and anchor the way that you live your life. This is what I've come to discover. Empowerment is not just about having knowledge that your life can be better, but empowerment is having the wisdom to apply the knowledge that will empower you to build a better life. Let me say this. The thing that makes the empowerment message so attractive to me and how it revolutionized my life is that we just said that empowerment is a paradigm, a belief system that shapes the life of an overcomer. But the other part of that is the empowerment message is a building system that revolutionizes your life and existence. In other words, why I have never liked the self-help space and the self-improvement space, even though people group me there because they don't know how to group me. But why I don't like it is because we give people a lot of information. We give them a lot of data, a lot of statistics, a lot of science. But what I see is people getting more and more knowledge and having less and less transformation in their lives. Empowerment is having the wisdom to apply the knowledge that empowers you to build a better life. For me, the message of empowerment was so important and why it is so foundational to my work because it's a building message. We don't need a lot of fluff and a lot of bubblegum pop. What we need is a message that will build and engineer in you the depths that you need to develop your life and to realize your full potential. You can't do that with inspirational quotes and positive vibes and, positive affirmations. It takes something deeper. And empowerment is that deeper thing because we're going to address your thought pattern and process. We're not just going to tell you to think positive thoughts and positive vibes. I'm going to tell you that you got to begin to address your psychological construct, the underlying beliefs, emotions, philosophies, ideologies, the life constitutions that you have formed with yourself and the conditioning that has contributed to that. And so, see, this doesn't appeal to everybody because the method of empowerment is different because it doesn't just offer us all of these great benefits and rewards, but it requires the building and the responsibility that will ultimately lead to the transformation of your life. And so I believe that this message is so important because it's about building a better life. And in order to build a better life, you have to have tools. I'm not against quotes and inspiration and motivation and you listening to your mantras and your little videos every morning. That's good. But that is not going to be enough to change your life. If you really want your life to change, I can't just get some little motivational moments in the morning. I'm going to have to begin to do the inner work, the mental work, and the emotional work that is so important to moving your life forward and really realizing your full potential. In other words, empowerment is not just about the how-tos and, having the good intentions, but it is possessing the know-how to shift your life to the next dimension. Let's stay here for a minute. It's not just about having the how-tos and the good intentions because we have all the self-help books that tell us to do A, B, C, D. And most people, they say, okay, I'm going to do that and give them 3 or 4 days and they're right back to the same habits and the same patterns. Why? Because we gave them some how-tos and they had some good intentions, but we didn't really empower them to make the change that needs to happen in their life. Empowerment is possessing the know-how to shift your life from powerless to powerful. This is the year, this is the mandate of my life in this season.